Is up, everybody? Thanks for tuning back into the channel. Thanks for tuning into another episode of 46 Garage. On today's episode, we have a 2005 Nissan Frontier here. We are going to be doing a front and rear leveling kit on this truck. This particular truck also has some plugged catalytic converters. So instead of replacing them with the expensive OEM catalytic converters, we're actually just going to be replacing the entire exhaust system with an aftermarket Magnaflow exhaust system, which is also going to turn the truck into a dual exhaust. So the customer wants to make it a little bit louder. Shout out to my customer Kent, and shout out to my buddy Rob. Told you I'd make you a shout out in this video, buddy. And we're going to be putting some sway bar links on this thing. Let me take you over to the bench, show you the new parts we got for it, and let's get going on this thing. So we got our front blocks here, we got our rear spacers here, got some new sway bar links, greasable ones. So if you guys ever have the option, get the greasable sway bar links. You can grease them as you go. New hardware for our leveling kit and some new U-bolts for the rear side. So anytime you guys are working on a project like this, lift kit, leveling kits, taking off rusty bolts like this, great idea to soak these things overnight, and gives you a much better fighting chance. Even though we have new hardware and we really have the option of cutting this stuff, if we can just put our impact on it and zip those off, that is going to be the easier way. So now we are just going to start undoing the remaining exhaust hangers. So we're going to have some here. It's going to be pretty easy. Some bolt-on stuff. Pull off some rubber isolators. And it's gonna look like we're probably gonna have to remove the spare tire for the dual exhaust setup, obviously, which shouldn't be a problem. Customer stated that we could just put the spare tire in the box of the truck. So that's what we're probably gonna have to do here. Okay guys, so you got about 4 oxygen sensor hookups. Make sure to disconnect those first. One up here. Let me grab the other one through here. Okay, so we've already removed the rear muffler section, so we're just going to drop the front section out now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 2. So, we actually cut this thing up into a couple sections to make it easier. There's no way you're fitting that thing in one piece. So, we made a couple cuts here. Bam, 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 bam. Gonna take this sheet heights down and swap some O2 sensors. Clean up the exhaust manifold flanges, put some new bolts in, got some new gaskets for it, and we're going to start welding it up. We're going to have to build a hanger for the back here. We'll show you for this side here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We just got a piece of mechanics wire there right now just to jimmy rig it up to see how this is going to all work. You reuse all your factory mounts. Broke some bolts on this one, so we fixed those. And here we are with the factory one here as well. So as you guys can tell, these front shocks actually have lift blocks on them already. So there's your driver's side. It's in there. It's bolted up. We're just gonna hook up the upper control arm. Put our new sway bar link in as soon as we're done with the other side. So if you guys have done these before, the rear is pretty straightforward. You're supplied with new U-bolts, so you can probably go ahead and cut the old ones. Make sure you support your axle. The shock is going to hold it a little bit, but it's not a bad idea to do that. One thing I did notice with this particular kit, it was supplied by the customer on this particular job, is U-bolts are much larger than the ones from the factory, so we actually had to ream the holes on the axle brackets about 3 separate sizes. As far as the blocking and stuff, installation, that's pretty straightforward. It's got the pins to line it up. And same with this guy, it's got a locating dowel on it. Alright, so once you guys get your shock removed, you're gonna have a little bit more clearance with the axle when you let your jack down. So you're gonna let your jack down, and usually what happens is the leaf spring kind of is seized up to the axle. You're gonna put your pry bar in here, kind of free this up, and once you free this up, you're gonna see that that axle is gonna swing down quite a bit. You can slide your block in. We're gonna show you how to do that right now. Okay, so got the back together. That's what it looks like. Got your new U-bolts, spacer blocks in there. As you can see from underneath, got those holes reamed out. That sucked, but we are basically ready to put some wheels on this thing. We're gonna throw it up, show you guys what we did with the exhaust, and for you guys so you can hear this baby. Driver's side. Block, bolts, ream. Everybody's happy. And fronts are all together. We're gonna tighten up those lower shock bolts. We're gonna bring this truck down to the ground, put a jack under those front lower control arms, and bring this puppy up, hook up these upper control arms, put our fender liners in. Before we do that, we are gonna tie up these heat shields, which we removed when we were doing our exhaust replacement, and last but not least is a serpentine belt replacement. So we just replaced the belt. Now's a great time to get that fender liner out, and we got the heat shields and all that jazz out. Toss a new belt on it. The old one wasn't terrible, but it's definitely time, so we're gonna throw the old one in the back of the truck just in case this guy ever breaks down on the side of the road. But this belt kind of sucks to change unless you're doing it from here, I feel like. So now's the time, cheap insurance. Let's go. I think we should save them just in case. Yeah, they're expensive. That's what she looks like, boys. And now for the most exciting part.